Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with the word for today. And the word for today is 3. Believe and receive. Who has believed the Lord's report? To whom has the Lord's power been revealed? These are rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question is a question that is asked to make a point rather than to elicit an answer. It is often used to emphasize an idea or provoke a thought without expecting a response. While it appears to me that the point is believe God, receive from God, or maybe in the context of this chapter, turn to God, for he has made a way where there is no way. He's taken care of everything by himself. The first thought that comes to mind when I read this is, I believe. His power has been revealed to me and through me, which provokes the thought that I have a responsibility to believe, a responsibility to receive, and maybe more importantly, I have a responsibility to help others believe, to help others receive. Although I can't help others with something I don't have, which leads to several conclusions. I must continue to grow in my believing. I must continue to grow in my receiving. I must continue to trust in, rely on, obey God so that I can continue to help others grow. I don't know about you, but I am being challenged in most of these areas of my life. There are people that need physical healing. There are people that need healing of the soul. There are people that need to be awakened to the real life. And I could be easily overwhelmed by their need if I thought I was the answer. Now, while I know the Lord is the answer, while I know that people must believe for themselves, while I know that people must receive for themselves, I have a responsibility to the people God's brought into my life. Now, I'm thankful the question is not who has faith. The question is not who flows in the power of God, because that would put the responsibility on me for believing and receiving. Yet I feel a responsibility for those that God has brought my way. My current answer to this dilemma is to grow my relationship with Jesus, because I believe all ministry is a direct outflow of my personal relationship with Jesus. Two of my favorite stories about this idea are a guy named Smith Wigglesworth was invited to a ministers' meeting to speak. He didn't like ministers' meetings. Imagine that. So when it was his turn, he just started to worship, and the presence of the Lord started to manifest. And as the presence of the Lord continued to manifest, one by one, the ministers began to crawl out of the room because they could not handle that level of presence. Great story. A guy named Charles Finney walked into a garment factory that had over 300 workers in it. Without saying anything, the presence of the Lord began to manifest, and within a few minutes, the workers quit working, fell on their faces, and started repenting because of the presence of the Lord. What's the point? The closer I draw to Jesus, the more he will manifest his presence when I'm in the right place, at the right time, with the right people. Now, I would love to worship and have his presence manifest so strongly that no one could stay in his presence. Man, I'd love that. I'd love to walk into a room and have his presence manifest so strongly that people would fall to their knees and begin to repent. However, I love it when I'm talking to people and he manifests his presence in any way, to meet any need, to meet every need. So the questions today are, who has believed the Lord's report? To whom has the Lord's power been revealed? My answer is, I do. How about you? The word for today is 3. Believe and receive. God bless. Check in tomorrow.